What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitget token today, BGB. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. So looking at this thing, and the primary reason that I wanted to make a video on this is to basically say that if you're trying to buy Bitget token, it better be for a very short-term buy, or really it just should not be at all right now. It's way overbought. We're way overbought, man. This thing, it's at 641. It could go up to 10 bucks from here. It's still not a good purchase here, man. It really, even if it did run all the way up to 15 bucks, by the time it corrects, it likely will go back below prices that it's at now. It likely will have a very significant correction, right? This is an absolutely massive move, and you can tell that it is coming to an end because as you progress higher, as you continue to move up higher, you're losing volume, right? This is on a 3-day period, so you're losing volume. I feel like that shows it pretty well. Let's look at the daily period. Here you can see, yes, slowly but steadily. You are still getting decent volume on these moves up, but you are losing volume along the way. If we look at the RSI, I'm sure we've got some bearish divergence building up as well. Come on now. You've got a high here, a lower high here, and we're looking for potentially another lower high today. If today can close red, then that would likely mark the top if today were to close red. Let's look at the 4-hour. Oh, man. I think we might have a top, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because look at this. Here we go. So we look at the 4-hour. We look at where we are now in the RSI right here. Okay. And we go back throughout this thing's existence, right? You don't really get above this line too often, do you? Right? You don't really. I'm not going to go through and look at what the price did each of these times. I'm sure we can assume what it did. It probably sold off relatively immediately. And recently, you were just above this line as well. So here you are now, right at it. You could go a little bit higher. Again, you could go a little bit higher, but I think you will soon mark a top. And I mean, dude, this could have been it. This might have been it. Let's look at the 1-hour real quick. That might have been it, man. That really might have been it. That's some nice volume up here to end the move off with, but here you are, a lot of volume. The last 2 hours, you continue to move up, and it's less volume. 10 hours, 10 minutes left in this hour. I very much do think you top off, man. You've got double bearish divergence, 1, 2, 3 peaks. That's 2 lower lows or 2 lower highs in a row with higher highs here. Yeah, man, you're good for a move all the way down. You're at $6.41 now. You're good for a move down back below $5, back to where this divergence originally started, okay? Albeit, you can form one more drive of divergence if you came down here. You moved up a little bit higher, you could form one more drive of divergence, but still the target would remain the same. So again, even if I'm wrong, or let's say I'm right initially and we sell off from here first, we go down to like 580, 6 bucks, something like that, you find support and then you move higher. Even if I'm wrong in the sense that we don't sell off immediately now, after this next high, wherever it might be at 7 bucks, it might be at 14 bucks, I don't care. We would likely see a move back down that would take us below $5. I very much do believe that. We're at 641 now. I don't think we'll move to 14 bucks, but let's go over some other analysis and try to make sense out of this. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour again, the last time that you were up at this area was over here. Okay, we look at where you were in price right here. That was this. If we saw this from a high to a low, and this at this very high point in the RSI, you sold off rather immediately. So I would think within the next day or two, you would probably sell off, and it might start now. So you might start selling off for the rest of the day today and going into tomorrow. You sold off 19%. If we were to see a 19% sell-off from here, that would likely take you down to about $5.27. If you were to do that today, if you were to close down at $5.27 today, if you were to close today red at all, you would have a high here, a lower high, and then another lower high. You'd have double bearish divergence on your daily time frame. You thought it was bad when I saw it on the 1-hour time frame. It'd be even worse on the daily time frame. Not only that, you've got a very nice bullish trajectory, a very bullish formation coming up here in your daily RSI, but you can only go so high. The RSI does not break 100. So maybe you go up here, maybe you form one more higher high, maybe I'm wrong and you don't continue to go up from here. Maybe today's green, you continue to move up to like 10, 14 bucks, who knows? But that would be it. That'd be your last high because you can't break 100. So that means inevitably you're going to break out of this trend, which means inevitably soon enough you are going to correct. And of course you're going to correct. Look at what you've done. You've moved up a lot in a very short amount of time, haven't you? You moved up from a low back in September of less than $1 to now you're here at $6.43 in a very, very short amount of time, right? And I mean, really, you were at about $1.12 back in the beginning of November. Here you are, not even 2 months later, 6:45. So I think that it is time to go down. I think that the 4-hour is rather telling. It paints a specific story if we are to start closing red and start moving down from here. If we do turn around here at this depth in strength in the 4-hour RSI, I think the 1-hour RSI tells a story with this bearish divergence coming into play like this. Again, if I'm wrong, you could move a little bit higher first. So if over the next day, if over the coming week or 2-week period, you see this thing up at $8, $9, and you feel like laughing and being like, haha, this guy was wrong, he sucks, go get a job, man, you're bad at TA. If that's your thoughts up here, just remember you're only more extended at that point. The more extended you are, the greater the drop will be, right? If I'm calling for the drop to take you down here, this is still the same drop to the same area. It just gets bigger overall, right? And you likely will probably pull back to the base area of this zone, which would take you, I mean, at least below $5, but probably even below $4. But I don't know, man. It depends. I don't actually think you'd go below $4. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But I want to look at the 3-day here. You got some bearish divergence on the 3-day. You went all the way up to like a 99 on the 3-day RSI, man. I mean, that's nuts. Literally like a 98. That's nuts. That's very nuts. You probably have more growth to go after this. I absolutely think that you do, and I don't think that it stops here. I think that you have a lot more to go. You've been around. How long have you been around for? Let's look at this on a monthly basis real quick. You've been around since 2022, the very, very beginning of 2022. So the kind of the midst of the bear market. This is your first bull market. You're at now about 8.7 billion in market cap. This thing could 10x from here throughout the rest of the cycle. It really could, and maybe it doesn't 10x from here. Maybe it sees a 5x from here. But something between now and the end of the cycle is very possible. This is an exchange token. It's a Bitget. It's Bitget too, which is a pretty reliable exchange. Number 25 out of the total crypto space. This thing could be worth hundreds of billions by the end of the cycle. It really could. It's very possible. So a 10x, a 5x, sure, that's possible. But a 20x is even possible. Maybe more than that. We don't know. But looking at this here, there's not really much chart to go off of, right? Like I don't really have much to predict with this here. If we take a relative high to low here, I mean, sure, you're at your 5618 now. You're literally right at that line. And look, your last top that you had, your last relative high was at the 3618. You even tipped the 3786 here, but you said nothing to the 4618 right there. Like literally nothing, no significance at all. But you did touch the 3618 and found resistance there. The 1618 you found support on, and you didn't really respect anything else. So, I mean, maybe you go higher, but maybe that's it, man. That's crazy. The 5618 found support right there, or significance right there. I want to see this high to low. Let's get this high to low here. A little bit above that 5. But that's okay. It's probably not that respected. That move looks less significant. This one should be respected. So here I would say if you were to move higher, just based off of this, the highest I would give it would be $10.22, 23 cents. Without seeing some kind of significant pullback. At the moment, being here where you are in this fib range, the areas that I would expect you to pull back to would be at least to 545, but we've already made a case to go below $5. If you're going to go below $5, the next targets would be something between $3.67 and $2.79. So again, if you're going to buy, the whole point of this video has been, if you're going to buy, wait. You should wait, man. You really should wait. It's not going to pull back that low. Maybe it doesn't pull back all the way down to $2.80. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it only pulls back to $5.45. That's still 50% away from here. But I don't think it only does that, right? I think it pulls back more than that. Probably like most cryptos that have pumped this much in a short amount of time, you pull back 40% or more. I would think you pull back below $4 at least from here. And that's it. That's all I got to say. So if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. You're very overbought on your weekly. You're very overbought on your 3-day time frame. Showing bearish divergence on the 3-day time frame, losing volume as you're moving higher. That's bearish. Showing bearish divergence on your daily time frame, losing volume as you're moving higher. That's bearish. Showing bearish divergence on your 1-hour time frame, building volume right now, relatively speaking, to be completely fair. But it's the 1-hour time frame, and it's not as significant. This could have been the end of your move. But the 1-hour actually does look like you're building volume. Actually, it's deceiving though. If you actually look at the 1-hour time frame, the histogram tells it all, because the levels in volume here on the bars, it looks like it is actually increasing, right? If you draw from the highs, it looks like it's actually increasing. But if you look at the histogram, here was your high in the histogram here. I'm going to use horizontal lines to paint this picture, right? Here was your high right here on the histogram, which is your average volume, okay? You went a little bit higher here, but then you started to die off here, and now you're dying off even more right now, right? So really, if anything, you've actually been staying standard, not really dying off or gaining volume, to be completely fair, as you move up. But you do have the bearish divergence now, which would be at least good for move back down below $5. You had a lot of significance in this price range below or between about like 338 and 480. So I bet that's probably where you find your low. Again, going back here, if I can. 348 and 580, that was the area. 367 right there in between that area. Again, you could go as low as $2.80, but with how bullish this move is, I do suspect you'll probably find support right there, just below $4, but right around 367. That's kind of my thoughts. So $6.41 now. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.